We call 2020 a year of vision, a year to see. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. But this is our year to see. A year for vision to take us into the unseen, the unknown, the future. By faith, what is unseen can become seen. What is far off can become reality. What is impossible can become a miracle. What is lost can be found. By faith, we know God spoke the stars into the skies, light into the darkness. By faith, Abraham believed God at his word and stepped out to find a new land. By faith, Sarah looked beyond her barrenness to see new life. By faith, a great cloud of witnesses has looked beyond the seen to us, the future, their dream, their vision. And now it is by faith that we fix our eyes on Jesus Christ, our author, perfecter, our cornerstone. It is upon this solid rock we stand, with our master builder's blueprint in hand. By faith, we call forth the unseen into our city streets. By faith, we cover our neighborhoods in prayer. We own our blocks, we set our tables. By faith, we believe the harvest is not somewhere far off, but the harvest is now. 2020, a year of vision. By faith, we break our alabaster jars. We worship, we gather, we give. We become living love in our streets and light bearers to our boroughs. For faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. So it is by faith that we bring the unseen, hope, glory, grace into our church, our city, our nation, and across our world. By faith, let us rise and build together for the next generation and beyond. 2020, a year for vision builders.
We are so excited to be bringing you our 2020 Vision Builders update. We're 7 months into our initiatives this year and have seen God moving through the generosity of this house to impact New York City, Paris, and around the globe.
Vision Builders is the mission and expansion fund of C3 NYC. This is how we see our church, our city, our nation, and our world transformed. By giving above and beyond your tithe as Vision Builders, we pledged to raise $5.3 million this year. And as of June 21st, we have raised $1.1 million.
By March of this year, experts were calling New York the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic. Out of over 74,000 cases of coronavirus, half were in New York, which was more than 10 times any other state. We saw our city in need, but because of your giving, we were able to practically be the hands and feet of Christ through local partnerships that provided support, food, and resources to those in need.
Hey church, my name is Carlos Santos. I've had the pleasure of coming together with the church to really fill some needs here in New York, from hospital meals to doing our mobile food pantries in partnership with 9 Million Reasons here in Long Island City. It's just been such a pleasure to really see our generosity go farther. We were able to provide 2,750 meals across 7 hospitals in about a 3-week time. As a lot of you know, we have 5 different locations, and so we're a very mobile church. But as we weren't able to meet in locations, we still had the utility of our amazing trucks. And so we've put them to use, going all over New York City, through all 5 boroughs to be able to provide close to 3,500 meals in about the past 3 to 4 weeks. We've been so fortunate that so many people from our church that are still in the city have volunteered to help out. We have about 65 volunteers that have signed up, and we have about 25 volunteers come out and load up these trucks with 500 people's worth of food and groceries, dry goods, fresh vegetables, milk, prepped meals. Yeah, hey, if you're interested in serving and joining and volunteering, you can just go right onto c3.nyc and sign up to volunteer. If you're moved to generosity, hey, this is the time for us to really even be more generous, because I believe that right now we're setting seeds for generosity, and everything that you guys do from the little to the large means so much to so many people here in New York City. So thank you to all the volunteers that have come out. You guys are amazing, and this wouldn't happen without you and your heart.
Through our COVID-19 Relief Fund, we have been meeting the needs of our C3 NYC family who have faced job loss or additional needs in this season. We have supported 59 individuals and 12 families out of your generosity.
In New York City, 98% of businesses have less than 100 employees, and these small businesses were among the first affected by the pandemic. With many storefronts closed during quarantine, we partnered with Support NYC to bring focus and resources to small businesses in New York City. our custom tote funded a small business grant that was awarded to the Lit Bar, a local Bronx bookstore.
We've also partnered with City Harvest to donate 5 tons of food to help over 500 families impacted by COVID-19 in NYC. Our urban garden, a rooftop garden that provides vegetables, mixed greens and herbs, has made our first donation to Neon Kitchen, a food pantry that works closely alongside the New York Department of Probation. Our urban garden milestones include installing an automated sprinkler system in the greenhouse, starting an irrigation system for tomatoes and zucchini, and starting regular and worm composting. A team of 24 faithful volunteers worked hard during the COVID season to successfully plant this year's crop.
So far, during this quarantine, we have given over 230 meals to youth in facilities in partnership with our prison ministry. We also have been able to stream our church online service to youth in juvenile facilities, hearing a message of hope and redemption every Sunday.
Hey C3, I'm excited for our partnership with Youth for Christ. My name is Daniel Sanabria. I'm the Executive Director for Youth for Christ here in New York City. And it's amazing to see the partnership of a local church and a paraministry making a difference with young people that are incarcerated. As you all know, we're going into facilities, we're working with kids, we're mentoring kids. You guys are bringing in mentors. Your partnership, your love for the kids is amazing. It's overwhelming. And I'm excited that your services will be broadcast inside the facility. These kids are going to be a part of your congregation. They're going to hear Pastor Josh. They're going to hear the music that you guys make every single Sunday. This is a moment that we need to celebrate. That the young people will be part of an amazing gathering of believers. So thank you so much for your partnership. Thank you so much for your love for these kids and for the city of New York. It's exciting, and I can't wait what the future holds for us. God bless you, and take care.
During this time, we have transformed our office and ministry center into a film studio, investing in new cameras, lighting, technology, and audio equipment. As we've gone fully online, our heart is to bring out the most excellent church online experience. Genesis 50:20 says that what the enemy meant for evil, God can turn for good. And what we've seen from this pandemic is that although we weren't able to meet in our traditional venues anymore, the church still grew. C3 NYC, our reach grew. Viewers from all around the world have tuned in to hear the good news and to chat with us, to receive Christ as their Lord and Savior, and to begin to plant here and make C3 their home.
And there's so much more ahead for us as we film new course content and training materials for our leaders and team. Through Vision Builders, we are continuing to save for our building deposit. Our current savings are at $1.3 million. These savings create a legacy for the future, for a generational impact in this city. We believe that out of this season, there will be opportunities for us to make this next step as a church.
This year, we began to put down roots for our first global church plant in Paris. Even through the pandemic, we continued to build connections and lay foundations with key leaders. We've held weekly online dinner parties, which have built an incredible core team with a heart for Paris. And we have seen new people joining even through the quarantine. We are so expectant for this next season as Paris has lifted restrictions with restaurants, schools, and the city opening into phase 3. We will be able to have physical gatherings soon. This is just the beginning for C3 in Paris and the transformation, miracles, and breakthrough that we'll see as we step out to bring the good news of love and hope to the people of Paris.
We have also worked closely with Vision Rescue, one of our Vision Builders partnerships, to provide COVID-19 relief to families living in the slums of Mumbai. Pastor Biju Thampi has an update on what our generosity has pioneered during this season.
Hello C3 New York City, how are you? So good to be able to talk to you. I bring you greetings from Mumbai, India. With Vision Rescue, one thing that we decided is to readjust our strategy and really put a very high focus on stopping people from dying of starvation. So we started with just a few families, and so far we have been able to give away 700,000 meals worth of grocery or food packets, plus, masks and sanitizers, and working with hospitals. And it's been a chaotic time, just as it has been for you. So please continue to stand with us in prayer, and there's a lot more need. God is doing miracle after miracles. The provisions have been coming in in a miraculous way. And I really pray and believe that the Lord will do miracles for you and continue to use you as a church to bring solution, to bring answer to many people as they're going through difficult times. So thank you once again for standing with us and for your partnership and for your friendship. We love you. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you soon.
We have sent our third installment of support to Pastor Rock Mutageki for the school building we are funding for 500 children in Uganda. Pastor Rock is the Regional Director of C3 Church East Africa. Let's check out that update now.
Hello C3 NYC. I bring you greetings from Uganda, Africa. I'm standing here at the construction site of the Child Development Embassy Nursery and Primary School. This property was bought by Vision Builders of C3 NYC in 2019. Vision Builders C3 NYC 2020 has enabled us to put up 2 classroom blocks. This will be a total of 10 classrooms for our children from Form 1 to Form 7, and then 3 classrooms for those in kindergarten. It's going to help us to increase the capacity of our school from 150 kids to around 500 children. This is support and help to the children in our community. Thank you very much for your generosity. Thank you very much for giving to Vision Builders. Thank you, Pastor Josh and Georgie Kelsey, for leading an amazing church. This is a dream come true for us and for the community. You are a great blessing to us. And every day we are praying that God will continue to bless you and provide for you so that you continue being generous. Thank you very much for loving us.
Our heart as we continue with our global partnerships through Vision Builders is to see more people experience the love of Christ in nations around the world. Our Vision Builders support has been pivotal to supporting C3 churches and church planters in the Middle East. Because of the persecution they face, we are sharing their stories without names today. With the devastating effects of COVID-19, job loss, financial hardship, and lack of medical resources, many of our pastors are facing extraordinary hardships, both within their church gatherings and for the communities they're committed to reaching. We've been supporting 5 different church planters, 3 in Kyrgyzstan, from the remote borders and northern territories to the capital city of Bishkek. We've seen house churches planted, the good news translated into both Kyrgyz and Russian, and 6 youth and young adults from a Muslim background baptized into the faith. One church planter has shifted focus to meeting needs for families and children who face the pressure of little to no income and a lack of basic resources. The churches in Syria and Baghdad have both faced lockdowns that prevent physical gatherings and have taken their church services online. In Syria, they've seen over 1,000 tuning in to their live stream weekly.
Vision Builders Giving has also made a way for us to continue monthly support for C3 Philly, a church plant led by pastors Colin and Beth Blois. During this time of being fully online, C3 Philly has officially launched Sunday services on an online platform and created digital dinner parties that see over 100 members join in weekly. They've also secured a permanent space as a creative hub and office that will provide a venue for future gatherings as well as a facility for filming and creative production right now.
Generations are the heart of C3 NYC. We are a church building something so much bigger than ourselves, lives transformed that will affect families, generations, and the future of our city. Both our C3 Youth and Kids ministries have gone fully online to continue reaching families in this season. Alongside weekly content and engagements, C3 Youth just hosted a global house party outreach event to create space for the youth to gather online, invite friends, and share the good news. C3 Kids has produced Sunday teaching, worship, and interactive lessons online as a way to engage families and build foundational truths about the love of Jesus Christ in the next generation. C3 Kids has also launched their own Instagram with weekly challenges, devotionals, and encouragement for our C3 families.
New York City is one of the most influential cities in the world, and it's a city where so many messages and agendas are vying for our attention. We're the city of Times Square, subway ads, and huge billboards. And this is exactly where we want to be, church. We want to have a message of hope right where people can see it. Our creative messaging through murals and on our C3 NYC trucks act as stained glass windows that invite people into the compelling gospel of Jesus Christ.
So this summer, we are redesigning our mural in Williamsburg on North 6th Street. This mural has impacted the neighborhood and been a daily reminder that love, grace, and hope are real. They're part of God's promise to us. We've also wrapped our final truck with creative messaging, and this truck is used throughout the week to support our food partnership and act as a mobile food pantry. Not only do we bring tangible resources to families across NYC, but anywhere we drive, this truck now shares a message of hope and opens the door for someone to experience God's love.
God has so much more in store for our Vision Builders initiatives this year. All of this is made possible through the generosity of this church family. If you are a Vision Builder, thank you. Thank you for pledging and giving to the vision, for being faithful in your generosity so that we can be the church, the practical hands and feet that Christ has called us to be.
We are 6 months into 2020, but church, there is still more to be done. Everything we've given towards this year is an ongoing initiative. And as much as we celebrate all God's done, as we give and sow towards an eternal harvest, giving that's impacted lives during COVID-19, generosity that has traveled around the world to create generational impact in Paris, France, and across India, Uganda, and the Middle East. Even as we celebrate all of this, we know that our continued faithfulness makes a way for so much more. We have future projects that will forever transform our church, our city, our nation, and our world. And these include developing and implementing an app to connect us as a church and larger network, releasing our next worship album, supporting an online location platform, upgrading our creative studio for filming, and hosting full outreach events and larger gatherings to build our future location in Paris. As we give, we are able to see these next projects fulfilled and more people experience the love of Christ. We have given so many numbers today, but behind every number is a story. Behind every meal, each donation, and every gift, there's a life impacted. So church, let's continue to join together to see lives change and create a legacy for the future.
Church, let's continue to be faithful with our pledges and continue stepping out in generosity. If you haven't given to Vision Builders, you can pledge and find out more at c3.nyc/visionbuilders.
Let's rise and build the church together, C3 NYC.